Hi, Grandma's How-Tos again. Today we're going to do peaches, canning peaches. There was a big sale at the store and they were 79 cents a pound, and you really don't get it much better than that, so I thought, and I'd like to tell you it's from my own garden, my own trees, but it isn't. You have to spray them a lot, and I don't do that enough, I guess. So anyway, I bought a bunch of peaches, and then in the wintertime when I want to make something, I have fresh peaches in it, or canned peaches. Now remember, I always go to this Ball book, and it'll tell you everything I'm going to tell you, but sometimes it's easier to watch somebody do it than, or you know, to watch somebody. Okay, so first thing you do is you sterilize your jars, and I'm going to do them in pint jars because you don't need quarts of peaches. If you just want a little snack, you got a pint jar. And so I got them all washed up, and I sterilized them in hot water, and I checked the tops for cracks or chips. And now I'm going to make a syrup. There's many syrups you can make. I usually make the light syrup, and it's right here, sugar to 1 quart, 2 cups of sugar to a quart. And you just make how many ever you think. It takes about 1.5 cups per jar to fill it, so you can kind of go according to how much you're going to make. Okay, so what I do is to get the peelings off, the first thing is to get some hot water going. I usually use it to sterilize my jars, and then when I'm done, I get hot water and I throw that peach in there for about 1 minute. Okay, I already threw this one in. So, see how easy the peelings come off when you do that? They just pop right off. Otherwise, they wouldn't do that. And so then, once you get the peeling off, now these were nice firm peaches. They weren't, and it's almost a little too firm like to eat, but it's perfect for canning because you don't want mushy peaches. And so I take that off, and if there's a little red in here, I sometimes take that off. So now once you get them to that point, I'm going to take this one out because I don't want it in there more than about a minute. And then now that one I can do next. But I'm just showing you here. Okay, so I get them to a quarter. Then I throw them in water with Fruit Fresh in it. Fruit Fresh is a citrus acid that keeps them from turning brown, because you don't want, you like nice yellow peaches in your jars. And so while I'm doing this, I just sprinkle some of this in there, and you can even sprinkle a little bit more in each jar as you go. And it tells right on the back how much and stuff like that. Okay, if you don't have any Fruit Fresh and you don't want them to turn brown, you can take, and it says right in the book, 2 tablespoons of vinegar and 2 tablespoons of salt, and put in your water while you're peeling these. And then when you get enough for your jars, then you take them out of that water and put them in a colander so they drip, and then you pack your jars. Just like the green beans, I pack them in cold because it's easier. I don't have to work so fast. And then I take that hot syrup and I pour it over the top into the jar. And so now I have the peaches in there, and I pour the hot syrup over the top and to about a ½ inch from the top. Okay, then I put check for cracks and things, put my lid on, and so you got that juice in there with your peaches. Then you need to put it in a boiling water bath. You don't need that pressure canner for fruit. And so once I get that done, I put them all in this hot water. And make sure that once you put all your, I think about 5 would fit in here with the lid on. And I'll just, well, I guess I don't need to show you. But once you put these 5 jars in there, then it goes over the top. And that's what you want, because you want the lids to seal. That's the point. And the water has to be about an inch over your lid. Okay, so then you just let that slowly simmer. And it says right in your book also, for about 20 minutes. Okay, and that's pretty much, it explains everything I just explained to you. Okay, so after they simmer for 20 minutes, then you know that they're well cooked through. And let's see what else. I think that's about it as far as right here, 25 minutes to 30 minutes, it says, for quarts. So I'm doing the pints, so, but always make sure the water's at least an inch above that lid, because that keeps that, seals the lid nice. Okay, so after that, then you go back to this, and you take your jars out of there and put to the side. Sometimes I even make sure the lid is secure with a pot holder and stuff, and even tip it upside down to make sure it's good and packed. And sometimes your fruit will kind of float, and you'll have a little extra juice on top, but that's just fine. And so anyway, that's pretty much what it takes to can peaches. And the hardest part is to get the peelings off and everything. And, oh, let's see. I guess that's about it for the, and as always, I like the wide mouth the best because it's hard to get things out of the jar. You know, especially like pickles. Very hard to get it out of a narrow mouth jar. Okay, and like I say, you can freeze them also, but I always have more space on my shelves than I do in the freezer. And they don't ever get freezer burned. Same with green beans. And now, next week we'll do tomatoes. Now, I only get a few tomatoes at a time. So all I do is same thing. I scald them, throw them in that hot water, I peel them, and take the core out, and chop them up, put them in a freezer bag, and throw them in the freezer. And then, when I get enough, because like if you only get 4 or 5 a day that are ripe, this is almost ripe, then you don't have enough to can. So then when I get my freezer bag full, then I do a load of tomatoes, and later we'll show you how to do tomatoes. Okay, I think that's about it for the peaches, and don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time when we're doing tomatoes. Thank you. Bye.